welcome to West Ham Confidential. You would not believe what I've just done. I've just been speaking for the last 5 minutes, and I wasn't even live. I didn't go hit the live button. I thought it was automatically going live. Oh my goodness gracious me. Right, anyway, hello, how are we all? Right. Let's get all this, and I should just let me know, everybody, if you can see me. Can you see me? Can you hear me? So tonight's show is all about West Ham, of course. So we're not talking the bombshell that was launched a couple of days ago. Yeah. Oh, hello. It's you can't see me. Why can't you see me? I can see myself. I don't know what's going on. Let me try and do this. See if that works. No, nobody can see me. You can hear me, but you can't see me. Okay, we'll just consider it a radio show and see. Let me know when you can see me. I don't know what's going on. Let me come on again. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? Oh, okay, I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about West Ham tonight. We're going to be talking about our race for Europe. We're also going to be talking about Mark Noble and see what's going on there. He signed another contract. He wrote a nice little letter on the website tonight. So it's all looking good. There's also, we've got to talk about Lingard. Is he the best loan signing that we've had, or was that title go to Dawson? How about Ben Rama? You know, is he producing? Should he be producing more? The end product. Anyway, so something's going on in the chat. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why you can't see me. It could be my internet connection that all of a sudden is completely gone doolally. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, something's in the chat. Somebody's doubled that up there. I don't know what it is. Anyway, we see you. You see me. Can you see me? Can you see me? Give me a thumbs up, everybody. God, I don't know. It wasn't me. Honestly, it wasn't me. I think it was the gremlins. Yes, you can see me. Hello there. Hello there. Right. Okay, so we're going to be talking about West Ham, the race for Europe. Are you believing? Are you believing that we can do it? Now, this is where I'm at. I'm going to nail my colours to the flag. No, that's not right. What am I talking about? Now my colours to the mast and all that. I think we can beat Man United. And I also think we can beat Arsenal. If we win those two matches, I think not only, bit of a bold statement here, not only are we going to finish top 6, I think we're going to be pushing for top 4. I honestly think that. But I know these are big games ahead, and there's another 11 games to go for us. So I think there's a lot can go wrong. As we know, we're West Ham fans. You know, this can happen. But at the same time, there is something to look forward to. We've had a great season, no doubt. Moyes has done a fantastic job. The players have done a fantastic job. The feeling within the camp, winning breeds winning. It's a great mentality. Everybody's happy, everybody's smiling. Even when we've lost, we put in great performances. On the whole, though, if we look at the way we've been playing, we haven't actually been playing. Okay, let me rephrase this before I even make a statement. We haven't dominated games. That's the word I wanted to look at this. We haven't dominated games. We've got through games. We've got great points. We've got great results, great wins. But case in point, last night, apart from the first half, where we came back into the match in the first half, and then we kind of dominated it, really, I suppose, for the first half. Leeds had the much better of the overall game, and David Moyes came out at the end of it and basically said, "Hey, you know what? We didn't play well. We didn't play well at all." And I think all the players are saying it as well. They can recognise that they're not playing well, but they're winning, and that is, for me, that's almost championship winning side. That's the champions of the also rans, as it were. Because let's face it, we're not going to win the league. Second and third is way out of our touch. Possibly, Well, maybe I think so, but certainly fourth is within touching distance. We can do it. We can do it. Anyway, right, so here we go. Look, we've got lots of comments tonight. Thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for joining. West Ham Irons United. Somebody's in the chat. Hello, Neil T. We're massive. We're going to get second. I'm not so sure, Neil. I'm not so sure of that. But look, I put in the thumbnail of this show tonight. I put a little picture of the passports. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. If we can fly again, brush off the cobwebs off, brush off the dust off those passports. We're going to Europe. I really believe that Europe is within us. It's within us. I think Moyes has got us playing in a particular way. I think we're getting results. I think we're resolute in defense. We're getting goals from all the set plays, and we are posing a threat at times. The problem last night is that we were going up front, we were clearing out our defense, and we just weren't retaining possession in the opposition half. That is the big problem. I think if we got into Europe, certainly, let's say top six, what's Europa place? Top six, is it something like that? Depending on FA Cup wins and League Cup wins and all that sort of stuff. So I think if we got to the Europa League, I think there's going to be a lot of teams out there who are going to be scared. They're going to be scared to face West Ham because they know they're looking at us and they're thinking, do you know what? West Ham are going to be a tough team to beat. And that's what it is. Man City had a tough game against us. If it wasn't for their two defenders popping up, first goal, I thought there was a Diop mistake. Lost his marker, and second again, it was almost comical. You could see it coming, but it wasn't, your traditional Man City goal, was it? I think, we in the dying seconds, Souček could have scored. It was so close, another half yard, not a half a foot, and he could have easily tapped that in. So we're not that far away from really competing with the best teams in the country this season. Now, we know that this could all change again next season, or it could all change in the next few games. Moyes and all the players know this as well. This is not something that all of a sudden they've lost their heads and they think, right, break out the champagne. We've done it. We've achieved, glory. They know that this is the first step. It's all about consistency and it's all about building for the future. But aren't you excited? Aren't you excited to think, do you know what? We could actually do this. We could actually get into Europe and actually not embarrass ourselves in Europe, not just go out in a prelim round, to whoever that team is, all repetitive years. There we go. Look, sorry guys, I just got a thing here. It's can you see me again? Sorry, I think you might have lost me again. Can you see me again? The camera is from cell phone early 90s. No, it looks blurry tonight. Okay, it's not my camera, it's not my equipment. Unfortunately, what it is, it's the internet connection here. They've been having lots of problems with the internet connection in this area. There is an actual symbol on my display saying that they might not be coming through very well. So if you can see me, okay. If you can hear me, that's the most important thing. I always thought I'd be a much better radio host than a video host anyway. But there we go. Look, I'm gonna have a cup of coffee whilst I'm here. Look, let us know in the comments below. Let us know what you think, or in the chat. Yeah, it could be words and pictures. I think messages getting to alpha behind time. It could be. I'm not out in the sticks. Don't give me all that. Don't give me all that. What, Jake, West Ham unofficial. You're more in the sticks than I am, young fella. That's what it is. Look. I'm talking about Europe. I'm excited about Europe. Look, I'm not getting ahead of myself, but believe me, it's been many, many years as a West Ham fan that we've had this kind of season. These kind of performances, and it's been it's really great. It's really great to be a West Ham fan right now, and especially the way the team is coming together, the way that there's a kind of solidarity, and there's a good feeling. There's a good feeling. Stel is saying, hello, Stel. Good to see you here. Stel saying, Champions League, here we come. I'm with you, Stel. I'm with you, Stel. I think if we get a result against Man United, against Arsenal, I think Champions League is on the cards. I think we're starting to worry teams. Even within the Premier League, I think a lot of them thought we were a bit of a flash in the pan. I think a lot of them thought that, we were going to just fade away, like we have so much in the past. We've struggled for so many years. This is no way this is going to continue. But no, we've continued it. David Moyes has continued it. We've built a solid foundation, being strong in defence. I think defensively, we've played really well. And this will come on to my second point of tonight. Who is our best loan player of all time? Well, for me, here we're going to be talking about Lingard, but because I think he's a class above anybody that we've got in certain times. But Dawson, you can't take it away from Dawson. Man of the match last night, deservedly so, getting goals, clearing off the line, making great interceptions. I mean, I was kind of blinded by Lingard, but actually I think I'm going to give it to Dawson, actually, based upon that. But let us know in the comments here. Let us know, what are your aspirations? What do you really think about this season? Is there more to come? What can Moyes do? What can Moyes do to improve the way we're playing? And the reason why we're doing this, it's more about. Well, the reason why I'm talking about this is more about Benrahma, lack of productivity, end of product, I should say, rather than any major issues. And I said this in the past. We're going to be nitpicking here. We're going to be talking about issues. Within the squad, how can we improve it? What's the next step? You remember, it's always about the next step. What's the next step? How can we improve it? We're going to be coming up against much better teams next season. Teams will not be performing in the same way. They'll probably improve. We might have a dip, and it's going to be an interesting one how we develop. Who we sign in the summer? Would you splash the cash on Lingard? Would you keep Dawson? That kind of thing. These are all questions for Moyes and the team, behind the scenes. How do we strengthen this side? Who do we bring in? How much are we willing to pay? There's lots of things. There's lots of players that we should go for. But in the past, and let's say in the past few seasons, we think, we should go after this player, we should go after that player. We should go after, you should be buying a player because it's a name. How many YouTube channels will say, or how many Twitter accounts will tell you, hey, look, this player is fantastic, this player who we should go. And they know more, or they know less about that player than you do. Because you just hear a name on YouTube and everybody watches a 20-second YouTube reel or a TikTok reel, and then all of a sudden everybody's an expert and they think they're a great player. They come to West Ham and they bomb. There's rumours that certain players are going to be offloaded in the summer, and you know what? We probably need it. But how much money do we get? We're going to be making a loss on those players. How much money will be available this season? Yeah, it's going to give us a few extra million, no doubt. But then we got to look at how much we're going to be able to afford to really challenge for next season. When I say challenge, I mean challenge in cup competitions, go a little bit further, and also challenge to remain consistent. Can we do that? Can we strengthen our squad, strengthen our first team, so that we're more consistent? And I've always said this. I've always said this time and time again. If you watch my videos of the past and everything, I much prefer a hard worker than some kind of talent who doesn't want to work, who goes off in a strop and everything like that. I much prefer that. I much prefer that. Now we've got a manager, whether we like his system of play, whether we, criticized him in the past and all this kind of stuff, I much prefer him who's providing a lot of structure, who's demanding of the players, and say, you're not getting away with not being fit, you're not getting away with not running, you're not getting away with not playing as a team. If you don't produce, you know what, we're pulling you off, you're not starting the next game. There is almost a little bit of ruthlessness in Moyes. And he's telling the players, and he's shown the players, if you play well, you play. If you don't play well, you don't play. He's dropped Bowen, he's brought him back. He's dropped Ben Rama, he's brought him back. Lanzini is flitted in and out. So we definitely need players, but what kind of players are we going to get? This is to take it to the next level. This is not a slight whatsoever on the current players, because they've done all fantastically. And when we're picking holes in players' performances this season, let's say Ben Rama, which I'll talk about later on, this is really picking holes, because it's been very hard to really criticize any of the players this season. They've been great. Look, and everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. There's no doubt about it. Every player will make mistakes. You can't say that. The best players in the world will always make mistakes. So we can't just say that we've had any bad performances this season. Okay, yeah, a couple of suspect ones, let's say, a couple of slightly below par. But when you talk about comparing this season's performances, even the so-called bad ones, and luckily nobody can see this video probably right now, because I'm just about to do the old bunny ears, bad ones. Actually, no, compared to the last few seasons, everything's been great. And even when we haven't been playing well going forward, we've been brilliant in defense. We've held everybody. We've held everybody at bay, even the great teams. They haven't really beaten us by much. We've put up a decent fight. Even when we've lost 2 or 3-0, this season or something like that, we've really held out, and those score lines didn't really do us justice, I don't think, of the way we played. We've got better. We've definitely got better, but we need to look at it. So let's just get into the comments and talk about. Let's just talk about Europe. Let's just talk about going there. I was looking at my passport the other day. I brushed it off. I looked at my lad's passport. I brushed his off as well. And, let's face it, it's dreamland, because we're not going to be able to go anywhere for a long time, probably. But you know what? We can watch it on TV, I suppose. But we could go to the home games, possibly. Who knows? But look, we've had a fantastic season. We've had a fantastic time being West Ham fans, especially of all the stuff that's gone on for the last few years. It's great just not to think about it, not to think about all the dross, let's say, not to think about all the stuff that's gone on, and just think about the football. We're winning matches. But I've got to say, every game that we're playing, I am wondering, are we going to let a few goals in today? We're not playing well. Oh, they're just about to score. And the way Leeds came at us last night, we were lucky to get away with it. I think we were lucky to get away with it. If they had finished better, if those 2 goals, hadn't been disallowed, if they'd gone on a run, it would have been a completely different complexion to the game. So we've got away with a few games this season, no doubt. We've won ugly in a few seasons. We've come back, fought our way back to get points, get goals, get results. But we need more goals. We need a striker. I think we need a left back for Krez, if he gets injured as well. So we need to strengthen in certain areas. We've got to see what we're going to do with Dawson at the end of the season. Correct me if I'm wrong. What's his age? He's 34, 35. Are we going to make a permanent move for him? Let's look at Lingard. Let's look at these kind of players and say, well, when he came in, there's a definite step up in the quality in what we're doing going forward and the ability to shoot. I still think we don't take enough chances. We don't. We're creating enough chances. We're creating enough set play chances. We're not creating enough open play chances that go to the final third and for us to take a shot that actually hits the target. I mean, this is the interesting thing. But look, there's room for improvement, and you'd be an absolute moron to not think that we can't improve. Anybody can improve, but we're doing all right, aren't we? We're doing all right under Moyes, under the whole, everybody's playing well. I think we can get to Europe. Top 6 certainly. Top 4, I think there's a sneaky chance we could get top 4. Sneaky chance we can get 4. What do you think about Europe? What do you think? Do you think we can, if we get there, what do you think the teams from Europe will be thinking about us? The teams like, I don't know, whichever country, from France, from Italy, from Spain, wherever, from Hungary, if we get to these teams, are they going to be looking at us and saying, do you know what, West Ham are a tidy outfit, they're going to be hard to beat, or are they going to see us as a load of whipping boys? I think they will come at us. I actually think they will come at us. I think they're going to, try. But look, this is the thing. If we make it into Europe, we are still not big enough, not robust enough to be able to we're going to be just like every other team who's done really well in the league the one season. They go into Europe the next season and it all kind of falls apart. And, we have a real risk that could happen. We definitely have a real risk that could happen. But anyway, look, what do we think? Do we think that we are Europe bound? Do we think that Moyes is the right manager for us to take us into Europe? Or do you know what? Do any of you secretly think, do you know what? Let's finish 7th or 8th or 9th. Let's not get into Europe. Let's just stay for another season and keep on building. I am very, very tempted to agree with that idea, to be quite honest with you. And I'll tell you why. It's because of my previous statement. There is a real risk if we get into Europe this season that next season we could really suffer. I would much prefer that we consolidate it. No, I can't believe I'm saying this. I would much prefer that we consolidated and actually built on a better challenge for next season to not only stay consistent in the Premier League and stay sort of top half or top 6 or whatever, and then also not be an embarrassment in Europe. Let's face it. We've been rebuilding for a long time, and regardless of the move, regardless of the ownership, all this kind of stuff, it's going to take a long time. We thought we had it with Bilic. We thought we had it with Pellegrini. We've got it with Moyes. We definitely got it with Moyes, but it's not going to be glamorous football. It's going to be based along hard work. It's going to be on hard work. It's going to be on really decent. It's going to be based on really decent football. No nonsense football, strong defenses, resolute defenses, everybody playing for each other. The question is, how long can the players keep this up? How long can they still be motivated to play for each other? Some of the best managers that have ever been, they've been ruthless. And I was actually listening to an interview the other day when they were talking about it was about Klopp actually, Jurgen Klopp. And they're comparing him to previous managers, Liverpool managers. And so the difference between Klopp, who's having a season similar to the one that he had in Germany with Dortmund, is that the Shankly and Paisley were not afraid to change things up. get rid of players, move them on, and get new players in. Exactly the same as Sir Alex Ferguson. He would move players on, even the good players, the best players, who'd move them on. And it's all about driving forward, not stagnating, not keeping on. And I think that's where we look. We look towards somebody like Moyes now to say, you've got a great opportunity you've proved everybody wrong. Already, you've proved everybody wrong. You proved me wrong. You've proved many West Ham fans wrong, I'm sure. The way we're playing this season has surprised us, let's face it. It's surprised everyone. Nobody expected us to be where we are this season. Nobody expected us to be doing so well, to be playing with. We kind of had an inkling towards the end of the last season, the way we recovered that great run that Antonio went on. But let's face it, I certainly wasn't expecting it. But we've done it. We've done great. Moyes has done great. But can he be that ruthless manager that will say to the ownership and say, right, we've got to get rid of this player because it's not, I can see in the next 6 months or a year that he's going to be distracted or whatever. So I think there's interesting times ahead for us as West Ham fans, and interesting times, interesting decisions, I think, for Moyes. Interesting for us to it'd be interesting to see how we adapt, how we modify ourselves to deal with the prospect of going into Europe. Are we going to choke right at the final hurdle? Are we going to be able to, we needed 3 points or something from the last 3 or 4 games, and we just lose every single game because we just, we're focusing too much on the prize instead of exactly what's in front of us. Interesting. Look, do we need? Which players do we need? Do we need another keeper? I was talking with my lad the other day, and we're talking about the Fulham goalkeeper. I quite like him. I haven't seen a lot of him, but I quite like him. There's a couple of other keepers that we were talking about. Left back. Who would we go for? Do we need anybody else in defence? We've got to look at one of my favourite players, Balbuena. He hasn't had a look in. Ogbonna is obviously injured. When will he come back? When will this change? When will we be looking at those players that we've got, and whether we really need to shape that up a little bit, change it up a bit. Midfield, I still think Moyes is looking at his midfield, no matter, apart from Rice and Souček. I'm not talking about these two. I'm talking about the creative going forward players. I think he's looking at those and thinking, he hasn't got it quite right. He hasn't got those magic players for a season or for 2 seasons. I think there's going to be movement there, but no doubt it's going forward. It's the strikers. That's what we need, and we need strikers who are hungry, who want to come to West Ham, who want to work for the team, but want to charge around, close down players, and get a bag full of goals. And that's exactly what we want. But let's face it, everybody wants that. Every team wants that. Let us know. Let us know in the chat. Let us know what you think. Thanks for manning the chat to whoever's on there as well, by the way, for putting all these up. I'm just too busy talking. You're gonna have to. Oh, here we go. I'm going to read one of the comments that come right up. Here we go. Infinite Life. Why would you wish us to finish 9th? Actually said 8th, I think. Instead of playing in Europe, I'll never understand. Well, I think I explained myself. I don't want us to finish 9th, you numpty. I didn't say that at all. I'm just saying possibly that might make sense just to give us another year to consolidate. But of course I want us to be in Europe, but as I keep on saying, there's a word of warning here. Be careful what you wish for, because we get into Europe, we could easily falter, because every other team that gets there for the first time in many years, more often than not, they falter. And we've done it in the past as well. So I definitely want us to get into Europe, no doubt. But I think we could be well served, best served by really focus on building. And and this is not me just saying this, everybody. If you look at the way, or you listen to the way Moyes talks about finishing top 4, top 6, about the way we're playing and everything. He's always dropping in little tips and hints. He's always saying things like, we've got to build, consolidate, we've got to find consistency, we've got to build for the future and everything like that. It's always about building. I love that in Moyes. I love what he's saying. I don't always agree with some of his decisions. I don't always agree with some of his substitutions and his tactics and all that kind of stuff. And this is what we're here for. We're all to, to digest that and dissect that sort of stuff. But there's no doubt he is the right man. He's got the right thinking behind him, or he's got the right thoughts in his head, I should say, for a strategy to go forward. It might be the wrong strategy. It might be a strategy that doesn't work. But what I'm saying is at least he has a strategy. And, he, in his mind, he knows that we've got to get basically no-nonsense players, hard-working players that have got a mixture of hard work, passion, good engines, and, craft. And we've got to somehow find the right balance with that. Also having second-tier players who can come in who are just as good. And when we get to that stage in 4 or 5, 6 years' time, then we might be in a position to really start surprising people. That's what I mean. That's what I mean about, going into holding off into Europe. Anyway, look, let's. I had a feeling all that would get you going. Well done. Right, so look, let's know where would you, first of all, where would you like to see? Where would you like us to finish this season? Top 4, 5th, 6th, get into Europe? Is that enough? Or what about finishing just outside? What about maybe next season the same again, not getting into Europe or just about getting into Europe, but have a much better cup run? The League Cup, FA Cup. What about this? I would be very happy. I would be very happy with a 5th or 6th this season. In fact, not very happy. I would be ecstatic for 5th season. I still think Stell agrees with me. GP agrees with me as well, that 4th is possible. I think 4th is possible. Jake here, West Ham unofficial, 5th. Stell's even going for 3rd. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I'm not so sure. Words and pictures, I want 2nd. Well, we all want 2nd. We all want 1st. just because we want it doesn't mean we're going to get it, does it? Ben Davis, look, this is sensible. Ben Davis, here we go. 4th to 7th. I think anywhere there is absolutely fine. Do you know, I don't think 8th is a disaster either. I think Moyes even said and went on record the other day saying, anywhere in the top half of the season is going to be, a much better season. And it's right. No matter what happens, we've had a great season. What's in my coffee? Coffee. Andrew, thanks for that. Trevor, top 4 with Champions League and then relegated as it's West Ham. Do you know what? This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is that could happen. Rondo would like to see us finish top 6, but 2nd is possible. Yeah, top 6 definitely. 2nd. Oh, do you know what? I could be wrong, but if we actually beat Man United, I think they're there for the taking. They're so inconsistent. I think we could definitely take Arsenal. Do you know what? The pyramids might start crumbling, and all those above us might start tumbling down. You never know. West Ham unofficial. I want chocolate, but I don't have it. No. What a great name. Horns Wasler. 4th is possible if we stop treating those so-called big clubs with too much respect. Well, I don't think we did with Man City. Definitely the other night we didn't. And a couple of games in previous seasons. Actually, that first game under Moyes, was it the first game under Moyes when he first, or did he come in the game after, when we went up to the Etihad a couple of seasons ago when he was first with us, and we narrowly lost that game 2-1 with the Ogbonna header, I remember. Remind me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. But look, Scott here says, we've got to go for it. But I definitely think we've got to go for it. All I'm saying is I wouldn't be devastated if we didn't make Europe, but we were able to still use that momentum and build for the next season and go again. But there we go. Look, we still need 5-6 new players. Yeah, we definitely need to strengthen to survive in Europe and the league next season. We definitely need to strengthen. But there we go. Stel, name on the trophy: champions of England, champions of Europe. Who would have thought a day Moyes Claret Blue Army? Well, who would have thought it, Stel, in the 60s? Who would have thought it in the 70s and the 80s that we'll be getting to cup finals, we will be winning, we'll be getting to we'll be finalists. Who would oh dear. Anyway, but as long as you can hear me, that's the main thing. Yeah, so I do apologize about the quality of the video today. It is the internet connection, I'm afraid, and not my cameras. But there we go. This is more, that's right, Stout. This is more like a podcast. You're listening to the podcast, to the dulcet tones of the West Ham Irons United contingent. Hello, good evening. Right, right, here we go. What do we think? Look, we've gone into Europe in the past. We've won. We've come out of nowhere. We've surprised so many people. We've won FA Cups. We've won, Cup Winners' Cups. We've gone far in competitions. We've had great teams and great players in the past. But our Achilles heel as a West Ham club, as a West Ham team, as West Ham fans, has always been our consistency. Has always been, having our players. So we can definitely achieve great things this season. It's whether we can keep it up. It's whether we can, and let's face it, we're not the only team trying this. We're not the only team hoping that we can do it. Possibly the biggest team in recent years that has surprised everybody has been Leicester, hasn't it? And everybody thought, oh, Leicester are just going to, burn away, fade away completely after that flash in the pan that they won. But look, they've come back and they're there again. And you've got to think, well, this could be a West Ham. This could be how we can operate. We just need to have decent players, decent manager, which we've got as well. But there we go. Right. Anyway, so look, 4th, 5th, 6th, make Europe. All good stuff. I hope we get into Europe. I definitely hope we get into Europe. Daniela Stewart, whether in Europe or not, I just want us to be in the top 8 next season. I want us to be in the top 8 this season as well. There we go. Yeah, look, absolutely right. That's right, Daniela. Well, why not? GP, we need to remember we haven't spent 200 million like Chelsea. 4th or 5th is maybe our ceiling. Yeah, do you know what? We don't have to spend that amount of money. And this is the kind of thing I want to put across from my point of view, from listening to Moyes and listening to the way he plays and the kind of players that he's got or gone after. They were saying last night, and we all know that Soufal's come in, we paid 5 million for him. He was kind of bought as a backup for Fredericks, but he's kind of taken over. That's the deal of the century. That's the deal of the century for the way he's played this season. Dawson, who from Watford, who came in, and all of a sudden he's, fantastic defensive, fantastic old school defender. And this is it. This is, we don't need to invest 200-300 million pounds. We don't need to scare the owners into early heart attacks. I know a lot of people might like that, but I certainly wouldn't. I wouldn't wish ill on anybody. But, you've got to, they don't have to worry about spending, all that money. They have to spend money wisely. Moyes has to guide them into the best players that will suit his system of playing and playing for the team. We don't want prima donnas. We don't want people who want to come in and say, look, I'm here as a flair player, all this kind of stuff. We want players who are going to, backs against the wall, who are going to press all over the pitch, who are going to run for 90 minutes, and marry that with a bit of flair, with attacking passion. And we're going to go to whoever, Roma. We're going to go to, I don't know, whoever's going to finish fourth and fifth in the Spanish league. I was going to say Atletico Madrid, but I think they're doing quite well this season, aren't they? Whoever, Leipzig or wherever. We're going to go there and we're going to give them a damn good thrashing, or a damn good go. Hopefully, we won't get a thrashing, but there we go. Rondo and Tony Tanti, can we now say we are at home at the stadium as we are second on the home games table? Well, look, it's an interesting one. I don't really want to get into that, to be honest with you. Home stadium, I think it's going to be a long time coming before we feel that is our home. But that is our home stadium. That is our home ground now. So there's a difference between having a home ground, home stadium, and a home feeling. So I think it's going to be a generation before many people consider the London Stadium as home. But I take your point. I take your point. Peter Jones, I think it's a bit scary thinking our future is in the hands of Gold and Sullivan. Well, it is. So until they go, it is, isn't it? I mean, that's as simple as that. Vaclav Zizka, I apologize if I can't pronounce your name right. Vaclav, 5th and 6th will be a fantastic result. Yes, I fully agree with that. I'm going to give you a fist pump, double fist pump. There we go. Lovely. That's supposed to be changing gears, by the way. Or no, was that the octopus? The octopus, or whatever. I saw the other night on TV. Really good. Anyway, do you think that there will be any Daniela? There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. No, wrong one. Do you think there will be any big money transfer this summer after you have no fans in the stadium and clubs losing? Well, this is yet to be seen, isn't it? It really depends what the club finances are going to be. There's no doubt we're going to have to sell a few players. They talked about Lanzini. They've talked about Anderson. We want those off those books, but there's not going to be a lot of money. Let's not be under any false illusions here. You're not going to be off a lot of money. I think Moyes is going to go to our friends at Sparta Prague and say, look, please give us a few more of your players and everything like that. And why not? I think we're still looking at decent quality championship players. We're not going to be looking at overpriced players. We've got to protect the best players and retain the best players that we can. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about Rice here. I'm talking about Rice. We cannot afford to let anybody like Rice or Souček be entertained or have their heads turned by any other club. And I'm not saying they would. I'm not saying they will. And especially given the season that we've had, we're in a much better position to retain those players. But if we'd had a shocking season again, I think the writing was on the cards, to lose Rice, certainly. But there we go. Infinite Life. Agree, Stal? Don't agree with Stal. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Of course he does. He knows a lot. He knows a lot more about anything than I do. That's for sure. I just talk nonsense. And lucky, you're so lucky you can't see me very well tonight. I'm hiding away in the man cave. Hopefully the sound is nice. Hopefully the sound is good for you at least. But anyway, we'll see. Right. Enough about Europe. Shall we talk about Mr. Mark Noble? Mark Noble, who has just signed another year extension onto his contract. He's put out a great, I thought, I read it this afternoon, a great letter to the fan base this afternoon. I thought it was telling what he was saying. I thought it was he's self-aware. I thought he was really self-aware of where he is in his career. He signed up for another season. That'll be his 18th straight season at West Ham. He's West Ham through and through. I know, he was saying all the right stuff to make us love him even more, as it were, or appreciate him even more. But here's the thing. And he kind of intimated it right at the end when he's talking about his lad and talking about the academy and lots of different things like that. But he was kind of intimating, and I've been discussing this with my lad the last few days. So if you're TikTok boy, if you're listening, I'm talking about you. We were talking about this earlier on. But if is he going to go into coaching? Is he going to be using this next year to not only play but also look at his coaching badges? Is he going to be taking on a role in the academy? I think he's got to. He must take his coaching badges, and he must do it. He must do it. Stell, please do not encourage Josh. Please do not do that. Look, I think he's been a great servant, there's no doubt, and I still think he's got a lot to offer. I still think that in certain games there's only going to be one person who can really steady the ship, and certain games where 10 minutes is getting a bit fraught towards the end of the game. Do you know what? Let's bring on Nobes, and I still think he's got a big game to play, big role to play, but not so much on the pitch. We know that he knows that this is going to be more about within the fabric of West Ham, within in the dressing room, the training pitch, and that's it. You can know that that's how he's going to feel about it, and how the players who've been there for a while are going to respond to him. Now, obviously, going forward, we know that any new players are coming in, they're not going to know Mark Noble. They don't really care about Mark Noble. They don't care. I mean, it's all about the here and now. It's all about them and how they can develop forward. So, we're moving in the right direction. Moyes is taking us in the right direction. Nobes can see that, but he knows change is coming. He knows there's big changes coming. He knows that, we're going to look at youth, and we're going to look at different things. So having Mark Noble there, I'm not saying he should be part of the first team coaching setup. I'm certainly not saying that as well, because he needs to do a lot of work in the coaching world. That's even if he wants to, but I just got that feeling right at the end of the letter. And if you haven't read that letter, go read it. I think it's the last paragraph when he's talking about the academy, where you might want to be around the academy a bit more. I think that it's open for him. And I think he could, just like other players, ex-West Ham players, they've gone to the academy, they've gone to manage or coach the kids a little bit more, and then they've either gone off and done other things, or gone on to other coaching roles, or they've started to step up through. So I definitely think he's definitely got the knowledge, he's definitely got the ability and the respect of players, and I think it'll be easy for him. And to do it within the fabric of the West Ham setup. If he doesn't do it this season, I think he'll be missing a massive opportunity. Next season, I should say. I think he'll be missing a massive opportunity. But look, a round of applause, I think, everybody. A round of applause for Mark Noble, definitely for his service, for the man that he is, the captain that he is, but also for, just giving us another year to question whether he's still got the legs or not, or whether he's he should still be playing for us. All these kinds of things. The debates that's going to still linger. But he's been a great servant. No matter how much I would criticize any player, there's always something about the likes of Mark Noble, who he's gonna, regardless of quality, regardless of success, in pass completion and all that kind of stuff, regardless of can't keep up with the rest of the young kids, running circles around him, he's always going to give it his all, and that's why. He's always led the line. He's always led by example, how others should be. And you know what? As he says, the problem is for Mark Noble, he's a dinosaur. He's a dying breed in modern football in terms, because he cares too much. He cares too much about West Ham. He's a West Ham fan. He just cares too much. And he's almost become one of those players over the years that probably should have gone to another club but didn't, I can't remember. I can't remember. You have to correct me in the chat or in the comments later whether he had offers, or I seem to recall a few years ago there was talk about him moving to somewhere, but I can't remember. I can't remember. I could be wrong there. So let me know if I'm wrong there. But you know, he could have had a move to another team. He could have gone to the championship. He could have, you know, probably done very well. But who knows? He may not have survived that long in the championship. It's a hard league, no doubt. You know, so you know he's got his name up in the, you know, in the legend status of West Ham, purely just for the number of years he's been there, but by the way he's played as well and the way he's led the line. So I'm very much a Mark Noble fan. I'm a Mark Noble. I respect Mark Noble as a player and the way he's played. But look, you can't go against science. You can't go against physicality. You can't go against age, whatever. You know, he's going. You know, but there we go. Right. Anyway, so Mark Noble. So congratulations, mate. Thanks for sticking around for another year. Thanks for doing everything that you've done for the club and everything like that. You've been a great captain. You remain to be a great captain. But I think you really should look at doing your coaching badges, and I think this is on the. Nobody's told me anything. I don't have any inside knowledge here, but I really think that he's going to be within the fabric of a West Ham academy. You know, it stands to reason that he should. Now, whether he would do like a Scott Parker and go away and get his coaching badges and then just, you know, prove himself in another club, maybe he's not management material. Maybe he's not that kind of player. But as a coach, for West Ham, I'm talking about, not for any others. For West Ham, I think you have a lot to offer. Stuart Pearce, you know, you know, Nolan, you know, these sort of players that, you know, are decent coaches, and also they know West Ham, they know about the fabric of the club as well, and maybe we always need a little bit of that. Anil, I missed you there. So Anil, I remember Tevez setting up a teenager Mark Noble for some great goals in the Great Escape season. Yes, that's right. Here we go. TikTok boy. Here we go. Mark Noble has been at West Ham the exact number of days, months, and years as Messi has been at Barca. There we go. So he's a West Ham Lionel Messi then, obviously, isn't he? That's true. Remember, one more penalty goal and Nobes is joint all-time. Yeah, joint all-time leader in goals with Di Canio. No, sorry, Scott. I'm not sure you're right there. Not sure. Sorry. One more penalty goal, and Nobes is a joint all-time leader in goals. In goals, as Di Canio. No, he's not. What era are we talking about? Because are we talking right throughout the whole history of West Ham? No, I think there's quite a few players ahead of all of them. All of them. Are you talking penalties here? Sorry, Scott. So just to clarify, do you know I haven't got my tables. I don't know actually. No, I don't think that's right. That can't be right. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, right. So I could be wrong. Yeah, my stat. Where's my statistician when I need him? You know, I really should have a whole list of records of the club actually, but that can't be right. You know, leading all-time scorers of West Ham. Say the top 5 right now. But I bet you can't do it off the top of your head. Go on. Don't look. Nobody look. Right. So I'm gonna see if I can get this right. Number one. Stel, please correct me if I'm wrong. Is Watson, Vic Watson? Is that right? Is that right? It's got to be right. Is that right? West Ham United. He means Premier League goals. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yes, okay. I was going to say then. Yeah, it was Vic Watson. It was Vic Watson. Yes, thank you. God, I'm not a total dope. I know. Vic Watson was number one. We've got Jeff Hurst is up there as well, isn't we? But he's not. He's about third or fourth. Tony Cott is about fifth or sixth. We've got crikey, Martin Peters up there as well, isn't he? He's up there. He's fifth or sixth. So we okay. I can't put them in order. Vic Watson's definitely number one. We got Jeff Hurst, Martin Peters in there. Tony Cott is about fifth or sixth, something like that. We've got a couple of wartime players in that as well. And John Dick, thank you, Stel. That's John Dick. And who's the other one? John. No, not John Dick. Who's the other one? Begins with a B. Come on. 60s play. I can't remember his name. Begins with a B. Is it James Rufford? Is it? Okay. Well, there we go. I got a couple of them right anyway. I'm sure there's somebody. That's it. Puddlefoot. There we go. Superfoot. Yeah, he was a wartime one, wasn't he? I think he got a Johnny Byrne. Thank you very much. That's it, Johnny Byrne. That's who. God, you know how embarrassing when you just have a mental blank, and I just couldn't. There we go. Pop Robson. There we go. So there we go. So there's lots in there. So okay. So this whole thing came about by who was it? Who was saying Scott, who was saying that Nobes is going to be joint all-time leader in goals with Di Canio. Yeah, sorry, I didn't understand what you meant. I think you meant Premier League goals. There we go, right. But there we go. So Mark Noble, great servant to the club. Yeah, I think he's still got a lot to offer. But let's face it, we know where he's going. You know, if we're talking about a more ruthless Moyes, yeah, you probably would have said no. That's your lot. He probably would have said that, but you know, let's not talk about that. But anyway, look. So, nearly an hour. So, how should we end this show? I'll tell you what. Let's end this show talking about the best loan players that you ever had in the whole history of West Ham. And I know many of us can't remember the loan players because I certainly can't. But Scott, no, not at all. It was my fault. I totally misunderstood what you were trying to say. But Lingard and Dawson, are they the best loan players that we've ever had? What are we doing? Somebody was talking about the other day to me. They were talking about João Mario last season or whatever it was when we had João Mario. I didn't rate João Mario. He only came good towards the end of the season, and then we're thinking, oh God, maybe we should keep him. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not so sure João Mario would be even in the same league as Jesse Lingard from an attacking point of view, but certainly as an overall, player, let's say like Dawson, who's proven himself to be. But when we're talking about class, when we're talking about you just looking at a player and you're saying you are definitely a class above what we've got in that position. And for me, Lingard is it. He is definitely, it doesn't always work. It hasn't always worked for him. It hasn't always, he hasn't always been successful, but he's got goals. He's set up play. He's been driving force going forward. You can tell there's lots of talent there that is just eager to come out and prove himself. He's proved himself. He's proved everybody wrong, isn't he? And how good he is. The question for him, I know he shouldn't be thinking about anything like that because he should just be focusing on right now, the next game ahead, and seeing out the end of the season for West Ham. But the thing for him, the question he should be asking himself in the future, say, right, if I go back to Man United, when I go back to Man United, am I going to get a game? Am I going to get a game? Am I better, or am I perceived to be better or worse than the players they've got there? And if it's if he's not going to get a game, then he should move. He should move, and he should come to us, and we should welcome in with open arms. Let's face it, he's fitted in straight away. You know, he's having lots of banter with the rest of the lads. You know, they love him. You know, him and Rice and probably need to sort out the penalty taking situation. But look, he's just brilliant. He's a brilliant player, brilliant talent. There we go. You know, so TikTok Boy says here, especially how he's risen from the shadows as well, just makes him even more brilliant. There we go. TikTok Boy, thanks very much. Lingard is class. Devonshire was world class. Devonshire wasn't on loan. No, we bought him. We didn't loan him initially, did we? Did we? I don't know. Stel, help me out here. Anybody there? Did we loan him first, or did we? No, we bought him straight away. We didn't actually loan him. But there we go. There we go. Arsenal for life. Here we go. This is an intro. I'm rooting for West Ham. There we go. Will you be rooting for us when we play you in a couple of weeks? I don't think so. I don't think so. But thanks very much for the support. It's great to be getting lots of support from fans all over the place. Do you know what? Words and pictures saying, I hope Leeds do us a favour and beat Chelsea. Look, I think, yeah. Well, if look, there's no doubt. If the way this season has gone with results, anything can happen. You know, we can get a couple of wins, the others can lose it or drop points, and all of a sudden we could be right up there. So, you know, there we go. There we go. Right. That's right, yeah. Stel, we bought Devonshire from the non-league club, didn't we? You know, for 5k or whatever it was. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't that we didn't actually have him on loan. That's right. There we go. But look, I can't think of any. Dave Luxton, this is an interesting one. Do we miss a trick with Tony Martinez? Well, I think Tony Martinez was still in a position, like a lot of players that we had at the time that were not being played. We were not playing to players' strengths, and they probably weren't the players for West Ham at the time, and they probably wouldn't be the players for us now either. But you know, he had a lot of talent, and he went there, and I think he was doing so well. I've lost touch with what Tony Martinez has done, you know, since that. But look, you know, Lingard, I think he's been a revelation for us. Great that he's come to us. Great that he's teamed up with Moyes. Moyes is very happy with him. He's happy. He's settled with us. You know, people where he lives are sending him little, you know, I love you, Lingard notes in their post-it notes. They're putting post-it notes on the wall in a kind of a, however he does that or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. So they've welcomed him. He's proven himself straight away. And look, how do you win over fans or your teammates or your manager? Just by putting in great performances and showing how good you really are and how you can benefit the team. There we go. He's done it. He's done it, hasn't he? But that's in terms of class, right? That's in terms of being a class above. But you can't take away anything from Dawson because of the way he's just come in to the side after a few games. I can't remember how many games. 10 games into the season, something like that. And he's just bossed it. He's just completely bossed it right from there. And he's played into Moyes' way of playing. You know, set plays. You know, crosses into the box, getting headers on. You know, he's what's the word I'm looking for? He's capitalized on Moyes' tactics. He's benefited, I should say, from Moyes' tactics. But there we go. Right. So, yeah, I'd say Lingard. Lingard is definitely the best lone player that we've ever had, I think. There we go. Right. What else are we going to talk about? Last but not least, a player that I know everybody really likes. Everybody's desperate to do well. TikTok boy upstairs is desperate for him to get a goal, and I would agree as well. But for me, Ben Rama definitely needs, he's real risk here of being replaced by a summer signing. And when I say replaced, I mean he might lose his first team place, but he hasn't got an assured first team place right now. He needs to produce. He needs to produce on a custom basis. He needs to score goals. He needs to be the player at Brentford, but for West Ham. That's what he needs to do. First season, finding his feet. All I'm talking about, I'm not saying right now, but I'm saying for the future of him as a West Ham player, he needs to, the end product needs to be a lot more. We can look at, we need to, well, look, Stel, no, Benrahma will come good. I certainly hope so, but I think he's got great touch, great ability. Some of the stuff he's done is fantastic, and he has been brilliant. But this is where I put Benrahma in the same sort of, not talent pool, I want to be specific about that, but the same kind of performance level as a Masuaku. Masuaku can have great games and then disappears. Benrahma isn't like that. He's a lot more consistent, but he's, he could be an almost player, an almost ran player. So I think he's got to be a bit more productive. I think all of our midfield have got to be a bit more productive going forward. We definitely need to look at ball retention in the final third, or certainly crossing the halfway line. We need to look at the players like Benrahma, Fornals, Bowen, whoever, looking at those players and seeing actually what are they doing when they're going up front. Look at the movement up front. Is there something that needs to change in order for us to be better going forward in open play? Right now our best option is most of the time to go into the final third, go towards the penalty area, try and get a free kick, try and get a penalty, and then we score from a free kick or a penalty or a corner or something like that. So he for his own well-being, for the well-being of the club, but also, just to steady the nerves, he needs a goal. And I think, once he's got a goal, I think, he'll get 1, 2, 3, or 4. I think he'll be like that. But I think there's the frustration. I can feel it. It's almost tangible. It's almost there that you can feel the frustration in him. He desperately wants it. Those couple of shots last night, and you think, oh, do you know what? Should have kept it down a little bit, but he wasn't alone. I think Lingard skied one over as well. So I think, but they've been great additions to us as well. Bowen came in and, he got a couple of goals here and there. Great performances. Yeah, he got off the ball a little bit, but we don't want to, paint a bad picture of Bowen. He's played fantastically well as well. Difference between him and Benrahma, he get a goal, Benrahma hasn't. So I think, you know what, I think we've got to look at the players that we've got, and no matter how good they're playing, how can we improve? How can we improve the finishing? And this was immediate when Lingard came in. This is where you saw the big night and day difference between Lingard and the other players. Lingard was getting in position quickly, making a quick decision to shoot, getting a goal, the ball on target, and come away with a couple of goals. And I think that's where we're looking at with the likes of Fornals, especially Benrahma as well. I identify those two players because they seem to get opportunities in goals, but they don't convert those into goals or shots on target with a high degree of success. Words and pictures. Here we go. Benrahma will get chances from Moyes. It really is down to Benny if he takes it and makes the position his. Yeah, absolutely right. Look, this is not a criticism. What I'm talking about going forward, and also talking about next season as well. Could they improve? Can Moyes improve their game? And that's it. Can Moyes improve their game? There's a lot more to improve. There's a lot more for them to develop not only as individuals but also as team players as well. And I think it's so close. We're so close. Those players are so close from being great. I'm seeing in the comments here about Antonio a little bit. Yeah, look, resting him, changing his position. Again, this is all about towards the end of the season or in the summer. It really depends who we get up front. Do we need two strikers? Do we need two strikers to come in and put Antonio in another role? Do we need to just get one? And will that upset the way Antonio plays? Will Antonio be able to play with another player? This kind of thing. Will that upset the whole balance of the squad? But we can't always rely on Antonio to lead the line in a position that isn't necessarily his either. So there we go. Right. But look, I would definitely be looking, if I was Moyes, I would be definitely looking at that area of the pitch and saying, how can we change the way we play tactically just to be more successful as soon as we cross the halfway line? What is it that we're doing that we're losing possession too quickly? What is going on? Do we need to slow the game down, or do we need to play with higher pace, with more running, that kind of thing? But there we go. Right. Anyway, look, I think that's enough for tonight, don't you? I think that's enough for the podcast that you couldn't see in my face. But anyway, listen, thanks for tuning in, or thanks for watching, everybody. And say sorry about the video quality. It is a problem with the internet service here. Blame BT or blame somebody else, but don't blame me, please. Don't blame me. Right. Anyway, but look, great season so far, isn't it? Great. Moyes deserves so much respect, so much congratulations for the way he's managed the team and the club and the performances. Not the performances, the results. The performances to get the results. So that's great for him. No matter what happens, we've had a great season. It's been great not to think about what's happened in the last few years. It's just great to have that. But look, it's Nobes, fantastic servant. Great to have him for another year. I still think he needs to, get on with his coaching badges and be a fabric of, West Ham. Start off in the academy, whatever. I don't know what his plans are, but let's look at that. Let's look at the likes of Lingard, Dawson. Do we go the extra step? Do we make that extra yard just to try and get them to stay with us? Do we need to look elsewhere? Do we need to look at other players that may not have the same quality but have the potential to really come good for us? It's the magic pill, isn't it? It's the magic ingredient that everybody wants, but that's it. Look, let's, how can we improve? Is it a question of signings? Is it a question of getting big name players, or is it a question of just consolidating, just keep on doing what we're doing? Don't run before we can walk. Just keep on incrementally building. And I think that's where we're at. If I'm honest with you, I think that's where we're at. I think that's where Moyes is at. He's looking at this from a very steady progression. And I'll leave you with this, and I won't say another word on it, but I'll leave you with this. I've got a feeling that Moyes probably didn't want us to be top 4, 5 this season. He would have been a lot more happier as top 8, let's say, top 9, top 8, because there's almost like an unrealistic expectation that we would be successful too early. I think he's got like a 4 or 5 year plan in his mind to actually say, do you know what, we can gradually build up here. But almost this season, we've kind of done ourselves a disservice because we've kind of, grown and developed a bit too quickly. So maybe this, just temper our enthusiasm a little bit and just be a bit more realistic. So actually there is a plan here where it's going to be a gradual building. And that's the best successful clubs will always be a gradual building, as opposed to, build and bust, you know, peak and trough. You don't want teams that go up and down, all that kind of stuff. But there we go. Still, let's be unrealistic. Yeah, come on, look. I'm just trying to say, you want Champions League football? So do I. So do I. Of course, everybody does. Everybody wants it. But there we go. Right. Okay. But that's it. Look, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the West Ham Lions United. Lots of videos coming, lots of chat, lots of live shows, match day stuff all coming. So let us know in the comments below all your thoughts and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, this has been a West Ham podcast, it appears, because the video quality has been so poor. So I do apologise for that. But we'll see you on the next one, whenever that is. Thanks for manning the chat. Thanks for all your chats, all that kind of stuff. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to come over to Irons United, West Ham Irons United. Let us know all your thoughts, you know, and look, just keep the faith. No matter what happens this season, we've had a great season, and we can come again next season and do even better. And the next season, do even better. And the next season, do even better than that. And if we don't win the league this season, if we don't get into Champions League this season, then maybe we'll do it next season and the season after that. Regular European football. Now that is something to get excited about. Right. Catch you again and all that kind of stuff. Ta-ra. Enjoy.